Alright, welcome back. This is MDawg, and we are going once again to the Norway trip. We have... I don't know. We'll see. Oh, I was going to get a lurker. Alright, we've done so well with silver on this trip so far. I actually think I want to get the white lurker, so the 08. Yeah, if you don't know, typically these lurkers are what you would want to get as your purchased lure to come to the sea with. But because of the how well the what's it called, the jigmeister that we have been using, how well it's been doing, I have we've primarily used that. Let's get this set up here. But let's go ahead and go to rods. And we're going to go with the Lurker 108 this time. And we'll see how that goes. I think I'm going to start out at 41 again. I mean, it's close. We did very similar to... the total was about the same on both 34 and 41. But I think I'm going to try 41 again. That just felt a little more exciting to me. Although it was a lot of cusk. Besides that, it was pretty good. By the way, perfect time of the day to be starting this trip. Okay, I'm going to unpause it once we get out there. By the way, sorry about how I ended the last one. I accidentally had to clip some stuff out because I was just having a conversation with my wife and not really... It was while I thought it was paused, but it was still recording, and then it was actually paused when I thought it was recording, and I was talking about all the fish we caught. So anyway, hopefully we'll dodge that this time, but we'll figure it out one way or another. Okay, here we go. First cast, let's see it all the way through. See how 41 is looking here at about 4:55 in the morning, so about 5 a.m. basically, where we are on the map. And once again, we're going to switch to this lurker. See how the lurker does for a little bit, and then we can always switch back to either the larger lure we have or even the once again to the jigmeister. So we'll see. This will be a good comparison. Last time we were here at 41, there was big time current because there was 10 meter per second winds, and we're back down to very calm weather. Very calm weather, more typical calm weather at the moment. So I was just really curious for the fun of it to see what. Yeah, still increased temps at copper. Okay, good to know. You basically want the white lurker, the blue lurker, and the red lurker. And even if this ends up being a little slow right now, you'll never, I mean, the lurkers are always a good option. They just kind of seem to rotate which one's working. Keeping you here through the painful slow bite rate we've got here. Maybe we should switch lures. I don't know. It is early still, but this does feel really slow at the moment. Okay, good start. I don't want to bounce off the lure too quickly. First impression, maybe not the best, but you know, sometimes you just have casts that seem a little slow, and that could have just been one of those. But we'll give it another try or two, see how it goes. All right, somebody, let me get to the comments. Somebody asked a question. If I can find it. What's the earliest I can go trolling? I'm level 20 at the moment. Yeah, so first of all, the first place that I would recommend going trolling is Quarry Lake. So in terms of level, see what this is. We got to make a quick decision. Pollock. Yeah, so far we've got Haddock and Pollock. I mean, we're pretty good with that, aren't we? In terms of level, you're really talking about 16, right? So when you hit 16, you can start trolling. Now, the other issue is gear. You know, when if we do trolling in the series, I'll probably be using caliber HSVs and whatever spinning rods we get. But to be fair, that is much more power than you need for quarry. So you could certainly start off trolling with less powerful gear. I would say sort of like the 9 to 10 kilo max drag is about as low as I would want to go. It gets pretty uncomfortable. I mean, you can do it, but you're just chasing stuff around the lake, right? So, but I will try to get to a little trolling during this series. I think that would be really fun. Maybe after this first sea trip, before we do any other trips or anything else, maybe that's one of the things we can use our money on, is to get a couple of decent spinning rods, and then we can do a little trolling. That might be fun. I mean, at this point, with us being level 23, we're trolling Corey, we're trolling Volkov. We could troll or drift Donitz, but that's a little different. And then at level 24, we could troll or drift Sura. We could spin fish at Ladoga at 26. And then the big one in terms of making a lot of silver and XP is when you open up Archie at 27 and then Tuba at 26. I mean, honestly, those are the ones where things really open up. I would say for trolling, it's more Ladoga, but just in general, fishing all around, Tuba is such a big deal. Okay, don't want to see that, but, you know, every once in a while you see something you don't want to see, right? All right. Biggest fish at sea yet? Question mark. We may not even be able to get it in. We shall see. Let me get my thinking hat on here. What do we do when we have a fish that's... It's not like locking up this setup really makes sense, because 36, I mean, we're just locking it up. We'll just get the full 36 out of it, where not that much of a difference. I mean, we could in emergency, like if we were just trying to stop it or something, but I am so curious what this is. And if we can get it in, we'll know that whatever this is right at the verge of being too big. Maybe not quite there. I mean, it feels like we will get this in if it doesn't pop off, but it's like fairly close to too much to handle. Oh, man. Tempted to lock it and see what happens just for a second. So in some ways, even though the cod, well, I don't know. We'll just see what it is. Don't get ahead of ourselves just yet. This fish is actually winning right now, so. What would be best scenario is if this is like haddock or pollock, but I just I don't think it is. I shouldn't say best case scenario other than just like some kind of rare fish. All that progress we just made, this is where it's tempting to lock it. Tempting, but not. All right, maybe we try it without so much movement, see if we can just lull it to sleep. When it's giving us line like this, we pull, and then when it starts doing acrobatics, we stop pulling because we don't want to pull the hook out. And we just hope that it doesn't get too wild with the runs. All right. We're trying to be real quiet, calmly pulling this fish in. Oh. You know, one thing that's silly, I mean, honestly, this is so silly. We should have made coffee before coming on a sea trip. Like right now, we don't have energy, so I actually don't even want to pull against this fish. I think the chances of us losing it are just too increased. I may try to log into my other account and send myself some coffee. Really, this is ridiculous. I should have added that to the list of things we do before we come to the sea, is at least level cooking high enough to have coffee made. Because you want to be able to drink tea and coffee. And really, if you need energy more than anything else, then coffee is just better. Tea does a little energy and a little comfort. All right, so, but thankfully this fish isn't so heavy that we're like plummeting on energy. The tea has actually been enough, but again, we might as well just have some coffee till we get done with this trip, and then we can level up our cooking to the point of making coffee. That needs to be a priority. you don't really have to go past cooked coffee if you don't want to. I think the cooking is actually pretty fun to level up, but you at least want to do tea, cocoa, coffee, I would say. And I would also go ahead and do the what's that, mulled wine, just because that's so good on comfort. That it's probably worth doing the mulled wine as well. Do we actually have alcohol? Because we could do a little bit of alcohol just for the tipsy bonus. If this is a decent, I mean, I think either way, this is going to be a pretty decent fish for us, no matter what it is. All right, again, just enough to at least make it through this trip. All right, we're up to 15 meters away, so this fish is taking a long time to get in, but I'm trying to be smart. With us having such a low level, we don't have a lot of control over fish. We probably have an increased chance of the fish popping off, and I just don't want that to happen at this point. I'd really like to get it in, so I'm just trying to really play this fish smart here. I'm not shift reeling. I'm not right clicking a lot. I'm just trying to pull it in when it gives us a little bit of space to do so. Yeah, it's real close now. How exciting is that, huh? All right, I kind of want to see what it is before I decide on the alcohol. I think I will do something. Oh, it is a cod, isn't it? I was gonna say cod is probably the worst scenario, the worst case, but it's big enough that it's okay. Um, Strongest fish caught, 28.5 kilos. That is 20,000 XP. So that's good. I mean, it's not great. Like I said, just about anything would have been at that size would have been better. Um, but I had a feeling it might be a cod, and that's okay. I mean, when you get up over 20 kilos on a cod, the silver is actually really nice. And you saw the XP wasn't too bad. So we're okay with that. All right, there's another pretty quick bite. I kind of like. I'm glad, I guess, that we stuck with um, this lure. I was really tempted to come off of it pretty quickly, but so far I'm actually really enjoying the results here. And it feels like now that we're in daytime, the bite rate actually has picked up a little bit. So, this a cusk? So, I don't know that we'll stick with it, but for now, I'm kind of okay. Oh, we've drifted a little bit. Okay, so getting this fish did take a while. So, just when I started to praise the how well this lure was doing, it just feels like it completely died off. kind of noticing the time of day though. I think I will go ahead and European place. I think I will, at least for a few minutes, go ahead and change to the jigmeister. And I also want to slightly move east, I guess. Just a little bit. Just to be a little more specific about where I'm fishing at, I'm trying to stay mostly in this quadrant around the 41. So let's see how this one plays out. Okay, so pretty quick bite on the jigmeister. Now, much smaller fish, so we'll see what the quality of fish is. All right, looks like a haddock. Not a bad haddock. 3.6. We'll take that for sure. I do wonder if that cod... Okay, no, that's nice. I was worried that the cod might have taken over multiple things, but, you know, with these trophy grass carp, it's, yeah, definitely not in danger from basically a 30-kilo cod. It's not going to take over the place of a trophy grass carp, so we're good on that. Ooh, I like to see it on the drop, and it did not quite hit the bottom layer. So this was on the drop, but it was nearly there. So let's see. If it's on the drop, you're most likely thinking it's going to be a safe pollock haddock, something along those lines, but every once in a while something surprises you. By the way, with our bait situation, it's almost tempting to fish at 34 just because of the lack of saith we're catching. Oops. Okay, saith. I see you. Alright, so we have a problem with the weather right now. It's actually hard to keep the lure down in the bottom layer because of the sudden uptick in current and wind. So it's gotten a little more difficult. That saith is probably small enough that we could go ahead and get some bait out of that. Yeah, I actually think with this weather doing this, we probably will go ahead and switch to a jigging setup a little early. As we saw last time, I think with this much movement, we may even be better off just like letting something sit in the bottom layer. It has just slowed the bite rate way down. So let's just at least try this so we can, in case it works better, at least we'll know. I think last time we ended up experimenting with some different colors of these foams. Yeah, I should do that again. What was it? I think it was black maybe that we settled on that kind of seemed like it was about working the best, but it was doing pretty good. Maybe we'll wait till total nightfall for that. We will likely see, I think especially on the yellow last time we saw a lot of cusk, if I remember, which is okay, especially if they're this size. I always think of green. I think I've just caught some really nice pollock on green, but I don't know that that's necessarily like super active right now. We could try it though. We have drifted, I mean, I guess with this weather, just gonna drift farther. Trying to get it in before the energy gets so low that it's causing FGA. Oh, it's a decent turbot. That's almost 10k XP. Pretty nice. So We'll try it. Oh, wait. You know what? Let's do this again. I don't want to go too far because at some point it'll start, I think, drifting us the other way. Alright, so yeah, we've gotten some, I think, 3 decent fish on the green. This is the biggest one yet of the last recent fish since we switched to the green handmade foam. And I think I will probably maybe go a couple fish on the black. Can't remember, that might have been what we caught the eel pout last time on, but I think that was at 34, not at 41. I don't know that there's any eel pouts here, but there's some really nice European plaice, which kind of makes me, now that the weather's died down, actually want to think about the perking situation again. It's going to be a nice cusk. Holy cow. Alright, so let's try this just for fun one time. And then I might actually do a little bit of perking at night. We'll see. Alright, pretty quick on the bite rate on the black. More cusk though. Alright, this is going to be weird, and we may end up like really hurting our bite rate, but let's just try it. Okay, this will be interesting. So small. Didn't take too long to find it, but oh, it is weird how there's hake here, but so often I'm catching these small ones. Not that hake is something we really want to catch a lot of anyway. Error! No! Oh, does it not work until you're a certain level? Or is there just something going on? Yeah, I think it's like because he's still low level maybe. It hasn't had a time to connect right or something. I don't know. I'm just guessing, making stuff up, but too bad. I don't know if Captain Midnight is an alt. Just when I see somebody leveling fairly quickly, even though it's that low a level, I just assume like, oh, it's probably an alt. But you never know. Could be just a well-informed new player. The last time it was small like this, it was a mini hake. Let's see what this is. Mini haddock. All right, there we go. Hmm. I'm not super excited about what we're catching since we switched to the pilker. All right, there we go. Caught something on the drop. Like to see that just as it was about to settle. Ooh, this is our first mackerel, isn't it? Oh, course, we could turn that into macro, turn that into one of our bait types. I think we probably do want to have a little bit more bait, something to switch around to. I will say I use Saith a lot more than I use mackerel, because mackerel are worth a little more silver, just on more often on hitting some nice cafe orders and all that. So try the mackerel fillet. Ooh, we only got 2 of them. That's another reason not to do it. Now, we could have done it to the smaller ones, I guess, the strips, but... Alright, there we go. Alright, that's actually a marker hake, so it's almost 4,300 XP. Our first mackerel fillet. Alright, so let's see. One more fish here. Guess I'm going to end up splitting this up one more. Got an hour 7. Obviously, I don't recommend doing this because you're just cutting into your time that you're actually getting to fish out here, but that's what we'll do this time. So let's see what this is. We have caught some pretty nice fish. I don't know if we'll do better or worse than the previous hours, but going to be another decent session for sure. Plenty of cusk. 19.5. We're getting awfully close to 20% on marine, which doesn't do anything, but I don't know. I don't think I typically see 35% on a trip, but I don't remember for sure. So you get 3 trips unless one day they reset the trips again, but for the most part, you get 3 trips. If you were an early adapter and did the trips early, they did reset them one time when some changes were made. So some people have gotten 6 trips. I think that's the maximum. All right, let's double check. We've gotten really lucky on cafes in the past. I don't see anything this time, so let's just see the true silver amount here. 515. So pretty similar to what we've done, although because there's no cafes, it's a little not quite as good. There just wasn't as much volume of like meat, above average fish. We did 80 on this one cod, so that's really nice. And you see the bigger cusk actually do okay too. These top 5 fish are all pretty good. I'm glad the hake. Good to be reminded the hake is okay. But yeah, we did okay here on the silver, but we're still on pace for the whole trip silver to be excellent, but in terms of this session, not quite as good as it has been. But all right, let's get out of here so that we save as much time as we can for the next one. But as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.